When you went and kind of swatted at Caitlin, did you intend to hit her in the eye?
Did you see what Jemele Hill said about Caitlin Clark? It's causing a huge stir in the WNBA world. Hill called out journalists for focusing too much on Clark's impact on ratings. But that's not all. There's drama with USA Today and the WNBA Union too. This story's got more twists than a playoff game. So here's the deal. Hill thinks it's crazy to blame lower ratings just on Clark not being there.
Caitlin, could you tell us a little bit about your eye, the hit, if it affected you, how it affected you, and through the rest of the game?
She says it's irresponsible to put all that pressure on one rookie. Can you imagine? It's like saying the NBA would fall apart without LeBron or Steph. But this isn't just about Clark or Hill. It's about how we talk about women's sports and the crazy expectations we put on young athletes. Think about it. We're asking a rookie to save an entire league. That's insane. And you know what's crazier? This is just the beginning. We've got union fights, media drama, and so much more to unpack. You won't believe what happens next. Before we move forward, I would request you to like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, obviously got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down, and obviously a tough time for that to happen. Better than I usually do, which is a positive, but overall, like, coach said in the locker room, like, we were down 3 the first quarter, down 5 second quarter, and then lost by 3 in the third. Like,
hold up. Before you pick sides in this Clark versus Hill showdown, there's a twist you need to hear. Hill's not just talking about one player. She's calling out the entire sports media world. And her point, it's gonna make you rethink everything you've heard about WNBA ratings. So what's Hill really saying? She's not hating on Clark at all. In fact, she's defending her. Hill's argument is that it's irresponsible to put all the pressure of the WNBA's success on one rookie's shoulders. Can you imagine that kind of weight? It's like asking a first-year NBA player to single-handedly save the league.
I don't even know why I would intend to hit anybody in the eye. That doesn't even make sense to me, but no, I didn't. I didn't know I hit her, actually. I was trying to make a play on the ball, and I guess I followed through and I hit her, so obviously it's never intentional.
That's crazy talk. Hill's not pulling any punches. She called out journalists for focusing too much on Clark's impact on ratings. But here's where it gets juicy. She's comparing this situation to the NBA. Hill tweeted, "Would the ratings be higher if she was in it?" Of course, but guess what? A finals ratings would be higher if LeBron James versus Steph Curry or if big market teams were in the mix. Think about that for a second. We don't blame LeBron or Steph when NBA ratings dip, do we? So why are we doing it to Clark? Hill's pointing out a double standard that's been flying under the radar. But this isn't just about Clark or Hill. It's about the bigger picture of how we talk about women's sports. On one side, we've got all this hype around Clark. She's the new face of the WNBA, the rookie sensation everyone's talking about. And let's be real, she's incredible. But on the other side, we've got Hill warning us about putting too much pressure on one player. So how do we balance this? How do we celebrate new talent without setting unrealistic expectations? It's like walking a tightrope, and Hill's saying we're about to fall off. This debate is blowing up because it's about something way bigger than just one player or one season. It's about the future of women's sports coverage. Are we going to keep hyping up individual players as saviors, or are we going to look at the bigger picture? Hill's basically saying, hey media folks, you're doing it wrong. She's challenging us to think about how these narratives shape our view of athletes and leagues. It's not just about Clark anymore. It's about how we talk about women's sports as a whole. And you know what? This conversation is long overdue. We've been treating women's sports differently for years, and Hill's calling it out. She's saying we need to change the way we think about success in women's leagues. As the dust settles on Hill's comments, all eyes turn to Caitlin Clark. Her rookie season isn't just breaking records, it's breaking the mold of what we expect from first-year players. But amidst the praise, there's a controversy brewing that's got fans up in arms. Let's talk about Clark's rookie year. This girl's not just good, she's rewriting the WNBA history books. She's smashing records left and right, racking up more points and assists than any rookie before her. Can you imagine stepping onto the court for your first pro season and just dominating like that? It's like she's playing a video game on easy mode while everyone else is struggling on hard. But here's where things get wild. Clark's not just winning games, she's winning awards too. She snagged the 2024 Kia Rookie of the Year title, and it wasn't even close. We're talking 66 out of 67 votes. That's practically unanimous. But wait, who's that one voter who didn't pick Clark? And why did their choice cause such a stir? This is where the drama kicks in. That single vote for Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky. It set social media on fire. Fans were losing their minds, debating whether it was fair or if someone had it out for Clark. It's like the whole basketball world suddenly turned into a courtroom, and everyone had an opinion. But here's the crazy part. While everyone else was freaking out, Clark kept her cool. She didn't let the noise get to her. Instead of getting caught up in the drama, she stayed focused on her game and grateful for her achievements. That's some serious maturity right there. And get this, she even got a shout out from NBA legend Chris Paul. He sent her this emotional video, congratulating her on her insane season. Paul didn't just praise her though, he gave her some real talk about the future. He said, "What you did this past season was crazy. You should be proud, but going forward, I think the biggest thing I tried to focus on was getting stronger." How cool is that? A superstar giving advice to the new kid on the block. You know what's really impressive? How Clark's handling all of this. She's not just dealing with the pressure of being a rookie, she's dealing with the pressure of being the rookie. The one everyone's watching, the one who's supposed to change the game. But instead of cracking under that pressure, she's rising above it. And this whole situation is challenging the idea that Clark's just here for ratings. Sure, she's bringing in the viewers, but she's proving she's so much more than that. She's showing us that she's got the skills on the court and the strength of character off it. It's like she's saying, yeah, I can handle your expectations and I'll exceed them while I'm at it. While Clark's busy exceeding expectations, the league itself is facing a different kind of test. A clash between USA Today and the WNBA Players Association is forcing everyone to ask, as women's basketball grows, how do we balance fair coverage with player well-being? And why is one reporter's question causing such an uproar? You thought the drama was just about Clark and Hill? Think again. This story's got more layers than a playoff defense strategy. The latest twist? USA Today and the WNBA Players Association are going head-to-head, and it's all because of a question about Clark. Here's the deal. During a game, Clark got hit in the eye. Ouch, right? Well, USA Today reporter Christine Brennan wanted to know if it was on purpose. She asked Dejanai Carrington about it, and that's when things exploded. The WNBA Players Association wasn't happy. They said Brennan's question was out of line, and now they want her media credentials taken away. Can you believe it? They're basically saying, you can't sit with us to a veteran reporter. But Brennan's not backing down. She's saying, hey, this is my job. I ask tough questions. It's what I do. She even said she'd ask that question 100 times out of 100. That's some serious confidence. So now we've got a standoff. On one side, you've got the Players Association trying to protect their players. On the other, you've got a reporter saying she's just doing her job. It's like a basketball game, but instead of points, they're scoring with words. This whole mess is bringing up some big questions. How do we cover women's sports fairly without putting too much pressure on the players? Is it okay to ask tough questions, or should we be more careful? It's like trying to find the perfect balance between offense and defense. And you know what's really wild? This isn't just about one question or one player anymore. It's about how we handle the spotlight on women's sports. As the WNBA gets more attention, these kinds of issues are popping up more and more. It's like the league is going through growing pains. More fans, more media attention, more pressure. It's great for the sport, but it's also causing some headaches. How do you keep the excitement without burning out your stars? This clash between USA Today and the Players Association is like a wake-up call. It's saying, hey, we need to figure out how to do this right. Because as women's basketball keeps growing, these issues are only going to get bigger. So what do you think? Should reporters be able to ask whatever they want, or should there be some limits? Is the Players Association right to protect their players, or are they going too far? It's not an easy question to answer, but it's one we need to figure out. Wow, talk about a wild ride in women's sports. We've seen Hill calling out the media, Clark smashing records, and now this USA Today versus WNBA Union showdown. It's like the whole women's basketball world is on fire. But you know what? This is all happening because women's sports are finally getting the attention they deserve. It's awesome, but it's also causing some growing pains. We're seeing more fans, more media coverage, and yeah, more drama too. So here's the big question. How do we keep this momentum going without putting too much pressure on the players? How can we, as fans, support women's sports while also demanding fair coverage? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going and help shape the future of women's sports coverage.